Hey everybody. Virginia McClain here, and welcome to the QuaranCon2020 closing commentary. Basically just me taking a chance to thank everybody involved in this amazing event. And I have notes. I'm going to use those. I was going to write up an email yesterday and today to send to everyone, and I'm still going to do that, but I'm basically just going to link to this video in the email because I am having a hard time putting into the written word all of my sentiments, but I feel like I can at least blurt them here using notes for reference and not be all that eloquent, and you guys will forgive me. So we're going to do that. 35 events. We ran 35 events over 5 days with our crew of between 10 and 20 volunteers, sort of depending on which aspect of the show we're talking about. There were so many volunteers that made this possible. I just want to give a huge shout out to all of them. I have them all listed out, and I'll get to that in a minute. Now that I'm looking at my notes, I have slightly more ordered setup here. But yeah, there were 16 panels, there were 3 featured artist demos, and there were 16 readings. We created over 27 hours of programming for free for people to watch. I am so proud of that group accomplishment. Thank you so much to everybody involved in that, the panelists, the readers, the artists, everyone who had their stuff listed in our artist alley, and so much the volunteers, who I will get back to in a minute. I consider the event a smashing success. I know that in the grand scheme of YouTube, the amount of audience we drew was not even a drop in the pond, but in terms of what we expected from the audience that we came in with, basically we had like 202 people showed interest on that form to start with. And then we had, over the course of the entire weekend, 979 unique viewers watch something from our programming over the course of the con, and still going onwards. That data keeps, those views keep accumulating. All of that material is still there for you to watch. Please feel free to watch it again, to share it with friends, to talk about your favorite programs and share the links so other people can watch them. That we want to keep that up there. This lockdown isn't ending anytime soon, despite what some regions are trying to do. I don't think anyway. And even if it is, this entertainment is here for you guys to use, so to enjoy, to spread around. So please, please continue to check stuff out. So far, we've had 2.8 thousand views on YouTube. People have watched a total of 629 hours of our programming, which is amazing. And like I said, 979 unique viewers have actually watched at least a few minutes of something. And yeah, like I said, while those numbers aren't big for YouTube, they're very big for us. I mean, it basically means we had a base of 200 people who were interested to start with, and we wound up tripling that audience in terms of getting people to actually come watch stuff, and that's just amazing. And I'm really proud of us, because we paid for 0 advertising. None of our budget went into advertising. Everything was word of mouth. It was all thanks to you guys, all the people who watched, all the people who organized, volunteered, and spread the word. So thank you so much for that. Our costs for the whole con were pretty low. It was mainly Zoom. I also hired an artist to do a logo that we then put onto t-shirts and hoodies and mugs and stuff, and you can check that out at Zazzle. I will include that link in the email so you can check that out. But if you go to Zazzle, it's basically, I think our shop is zazzle.com/store/QuaranCon2020. So you can find us there. And today there's a 15% off deal for Thursday deals. I don't know if they do that every Thursday. So if you want to go buy some swag, that's maybe a good time. And those royalties are accruing slowly. I think we've racked up a grand total of like $4 in royalties there so far. So I'm going to wait. Every time that hits 50 bucks, I will donate those $50 to Doctors Without Borders. But in the meantime, the coffee account that you guys were so generous in donating to raised $285 Canadian, and our costs were $147 Canadian. So I just made a donation of $138 to Doctors Without Borders. And thank you guys so much for covering our costs so that I didn't wind up having to pay for the whole thing out of pocket. I actually wound up not paying for anything out of pocket. So I added to our donation. Well, yeah. Anyway, so thank you so much. That was huge. You guys are extremely generous and we really appreciate that. I've turned off the coffee account for now. So if you had hoped to donate or whatever, you can take that money and either donate it directly to Doctors Without Borders if that's something that interests you. That's all I was going to do with it anyway. Or if you want, hold on to it. If we do wind up doing this again, then you can wait and donate again if you'd like. To cover our costs. But for now, our costs are covered, and that's all thanks to you wonderful people. So thank you so much for that. And so if you want to buy merch, please buy merch. We would love for people to be wearing QuaranCon shirts and drinking from QuaranCon mugs in the future. That would be lovely. Oh, one other note about YouTube. For our YouTube channel, I have opened up all the videos for community help with subtitles, which means for those of you who are familiar with subtitles and closed captioning in YouTube, that means that now anyone who's logged into a YouTube account and is one of the people who helps with subtitles can show up and help add subtitles to all of our panels, readings, etc. I would absolutely love to get all of our panels subtitled in the near future. I'm currently working on one of them. It's an hour-long panel. It already took me I think I spent an hour and a half doing 10 minutes of subtitling. Part of the reason that that's so slow is because I'm correcting the subtitles that YouTube automatically generated. And I think that's actually a slower way to do it than just generating my own subtitles. So I'm going to mess around with that and see if I can just erase the ones that YouTube made automatically and put in my own. But at any rate, if anyone is willing to do that, you can do it in fits and starts. It will save your progress and save it as a draft. And then you can wait till you're done and publish the whole thing. Something you can do in your spare time, if there's a panel you particularly liked and you would love to watch it 10 more times while you do subtitles for it, that would be amazing. So anyone who's interested in that, please reach out. You can either just jump onto YouTube and do it if you're familiar with it. If you're not familiar with how it's done, you can email me and I'll walk you through it. But we would love to have volunteers with that because I feel like we produced a really accessible con in a lot of ways, but of course the lack of closed captioning makes it less accessible for our hearing impaired attendees. And so we would really love to round that out and have the whole thing done. I don't know, I mentioned in my other closing comments that were attached to the end of the superheroes panel that it would have cost about $3,000 to get professional closed captioning done for the con, which is why we didn't do it, because we just didn't have that kind of budget. So if we do this again, either we'll run a Kickstarter to try to get that done early, or we'll try to get enough volunteers on that we can somehow do it a different way. But basically it was completely outside of our realm of possibilities. So if you have time and interest in helping with that, it would be amazing. And it's a lovely way to give back if you felt like you wanted to contribute to the con, but you couldn't contribute financially and you didn't have enough time earlier to do other things. This would be a really great way to help. Okay, now down to the volunteers. I have the list of volunteers here that I want to thank. Everyone who was involved, if you did anything for QuaranCon, even if it was just retweeting all of our tweets or whatever it was you did, I hugely appreciate that. But in particular, I want to thank these people who helped from the get-go. I sent out a call to the 202 people who expressed interest in signing up, saying, hey, well, actually, I had a tick box to see if you were interested in organizing, and about 50 people said they were interested in helping organize. I emailed those 50 people and said, hey, here are the things that need to be done. Which things would you like to do? Then a bunch of people signed up for those lists, and then a smaller subset of those people actually showed up and helped do all the things. So the names that I particularly want to mention are Pam Livingston, who was our panels coordinator, scheduling mastermind, and really appreciated everything that Pam did for the panels. A lot of other people lower down on the list here that I'm going to mention helped to choose which panels to do and to suggest which people should be on them. I think the truth is, as soon as the volunteers showed up, I kind of stood back from panel organizing and let them run with it. So I'm not entirely sure how that process completely sorted itself out. But Pam was at the head of all the panel organizing. I'd also really like to thank Belle McQuaddy, who organized the readings in a similar fashion. She did the scheduling and the back and forth with everyone who did readings. Peach Hurtado, or Hurtado, depending on, I'm not sure, or Hurtado even, was a huge help in so many ways. A lot of web design, graphic design, and general social media management. Just spent so many hours working for us. It was fabulous. Erica Drayton was my primary additional tech support person. She and I tested the back end of all the tech before the con started, and she helped me sort out, troubleshoot everything that came up as it came up. Really just spectacular. And then she was responsible for connecting at least a third of all the events to YouTube. Miracle Wong came in at the last minute because we desperately needed yet another person to connect panels and readings to YouTube, and she jumped in admirably and did that as well. So big thank you to Miracle. And parentheses, huge congrats to Miracle on just having won the 5th self-published fantasy blog off Spitbo. Sort of Kaigen has just won the entire thing, and that is so awesome and so well deserved, and huge congratulations to her. Isabel Suarez helped do, she organized the short fiction contest, and organized judges, etc., and helped out hugely there. And the following people, actually Sonia Black, I would also like to mention, did a huge amount of data entry for me. I cannot calculate the hours of data entry she saved me from doing. She probably knows, she could tell us how many hours she spent entering data, but she saved my butt. So huge shout out to Sonia Black. And then the following people I would like to thank just as a group. These are all people who were very much involved in various pieces of organizing the whole thing. Phil Parker, Amanda Justice, Ashley Capes, Noor El Shanti, Patrick Leclerc, and a bunch of other people that I'm probably forgetting, but these are the main people whose presence in our Discord server I noted and was able to keep track of, and that I know did a ton to help out. I'm sure there are people I am missing, and I sincerely apologize if your name is among them. Feel free to bug me and I'll come back and add addendums. Again, big thank you to all our panelists and our readers and our featured artists. You guys were amazing, and without you there would have been no con. So thank you so much for your time and your enthusiasm. I feel like we didn't have any dud panels or readings or anything. Everybody was so lively and enthusiastic, and I can't thank you guys enough for being there, and for pretending with me long enough that this was a real thing, that it became a real thing. And now, also a huge thanks to everyone who entered our contests. And actually, I'm gonna double check one thing here. Okay. I have our short fiction contest winners to announce. Our cosplay contest winners, I'm still waiting to hear back on. I will announce those with a special Twitter post, and I might add them. I don't know when else I would add them. Maybe I'll do a short video just to show off the pictures of all the cosplay that was entered. We didn't get a ton of entries to that, unfortunately. That's our bad for not publicizing it sufficiently. But the entries we got were really fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing who Jay Justice has chosen as winner. But in the meantime, for our short fiction contest, we got 12 fabulous entries, and the judges had a very hard time deciding who the actual winner was. There was a tie and everything. We had to get extra judges in to help sort things out. So I mentioned these earlier, so hopefully everybody knows, but if you missed, again, my addendum at the end of the superheroes thing, I will announce to you the QuaranCon 2020 short fiction top 3, starting with third place. Was a story entitled New Hope by J.E. Hannaford. Congratulations on being the third runner up, or the third place holder. Old Superheroes Never Die came in second by Alex McGillivray. And the winner was Last Day at the Observatory by A.M. Justice. So congratulations, all 3 of you. I will be in touch soon about getting you in touch with your editors, who are going to provide critiques for longer works if you have them. That, like I said, that was a tough competition. And I will also add that all the names of the authors were removed from their entries. So the judging was blind, and so titles were not, well, the titles were present, and then there were numbers as well. But that's it. All other identifying information of the authors was removed, and only revealed to the judges after the winners had been decided. So next up, so congratulations to all of those fabulous authors, and congratulations on your prizes. And like I said, I'll announce cosplay later. Doing the con again. Lots of people have asked if and when QuaranCon 2020 will happen again. Obviously, the 2020 part would change if we're doing it another year. Hopefully, the Quaran piece will also change by a similar time next year. I hope that we're not all still in lockdown by then, but as long as we can do that safely. I'm all for whatever is not going to kill a bunch of people, because I am very much opposed to the idea of risking any lives for the sake of the economy or anything else. Yeah, whatever we can do safely. But hopefully we can do this again, just because it was really fun to have a virtual convention where we could get a lot of people together at a very low cost and free to all the attendees, and do that because we love it, rather than because it's the only way to get people together. So I would love to do that again. I think it's been a couple days. I've had a couple days to rest, and I'm thinking maybe this is something I'd be willing to organize again. But again, I probably need a couple weeks to rest before I can really commit to that. But it is sounding very tempting. And as to when, I think this makes a good annual event. I think doing it more often than that might cut into its, I don't know, sense of self. We do it too many times and it becomes something that, I don't know, reduces how special it is. I'm not sure. At most, we would do 2 in a year, but I honestly, I can't imagine having the energy to organize this again until a year from now. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll just see. I am really touched that people have asked. And huge thanks to everyone who showed up to watch. Thanks so much to the so far 900 and some odd individuals, almost 1,000 individuals, who have come to watch any of our events. It's been great. And I'm really, to everyone who has said thank you in some way, thank you. And also, I'm so glad that I've been able to, in any way, provide smiles, laughs, entertainment, or interesting things to watch in a time where things are kind of crappy. So you're welcome. But also, I feel weird getting praise for it. And again, thanks so much to all the volunteers. It would not have been possible without them. Okay, that's it. My sourdough just beeped. I'm gonna go pull some sourdough out of the oven. Yes, I have become that person. And I really can't thank everybody who helped out enough. I hope this message finds you well. And yeah, we'll see you around.